My name is Daniel. I'm 27 years old, and I used to work at a small airport cafe. Every day I served coffee, cleaned tables, and smiled at travelers passing through. But inside, I was terrified because every single time someone spoke English to me, my heart would pound in my chest. My mind knew the words, but my mouth just stayed silent. I'll never forget this one day. A traveler walked up to me and asked, "Can you recommend something to drink?" I understood him perfectly, but nothing came out. I completely froze. The line of people behind him grew longer. My manager was watching me. That moment, right there, hurt more than any mistake I'd ever made. Not because I was bad at my job, but because I knew that English was the wall blocking me from my future. That night, I went home, looked at myself in the mirror, and said, "This cannot be my story forever." So, I decided to change my life. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, you will learn exactly how I built real confident English in just 6 months, without expensive schools, without traveling abroad, and without any magic tricks. It was all about smart, daily practice. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin. At the beginning, I tried the classic way. You know the one: grammar books, long vocabulary lists, rule after rule. I studied for hours, but when real people spoke to me, I still panicked. So I asked myself one simple question: what English do I really need in my life? Not school English. I needed real-life English. So I opened a notebook and wrote down only the most useful sentences for my job. Things like, "Can I help you?" "What would you like?" "Your order is ready." "Please wait one moment." I ended up with about 40 sentences that I could use every single day. Every morning, before work, I would read them out loud, again and again. At first, my mouth felt tired. My pronunciation was slow and clumsy. But after a few days, my tongue started moving more naturally. Then I did something really powerful. While I was working, I started speaking quietly to myself. I am cleaning the table. I am preparing the coffee. I am talking to a customer. My job became my own personal English classroom. At night, I discovered a technique called shadowing. I chose short videos, just 1 or 2 sentences at a time. I would play the audio, and then I would copy the speaker, not just the words, but the speed, the emotion, the pauses. I was copying their voice, and after about 3 weeks, something strange and wonderful happened. A traveler asked me, "Can I pay by card?" And without even thinking, I answered, "Yes, of course." No hesitation, no translating in my head, just speaking. That was the very first time English felt alive inside of me. After that first month, I felt much stronger. But I wanted to do more than just give short, simple answers. So I started creating daily speaking habits. First, I created the question habit. Every night before bed, I'd ask myself in English, what did I do today? At first, my answers were small. I worked. But then I pushed myself to say more. I worked at the cafe. Then I made it even better. I worked at the cafe, served customers, and felt tired but proud. Each day, I just pushed my voice a little bit more. Second, I developed the echo habit. Whenever I heard a phrase I liked at work, I would remember it. Later, standing in front of the mirror at home, I'd repeat it, trying to match the same speed, the same feeling, the same rhythm. My pronunciation changed so fast because of this. Third, I started the story habit. Every day I'd pick 5 random words. For example, coffee, late, smile, order, problem. Then I would create a mini story using them. A customer arrived late. He had a problem with his order. But when I smiled, he smiled too. I'd read my little story again and again. Words stopped being just vocabulary on a list. They became tools I could use. I also started thinking in English during the day. Simple thoughts like, the line is long. I must stay calm. I am doing well. Slowly, my brain stopped translating everything from my native language. At night, I started keeping a journal in English. At first, it was just, today was busy. But later, it became, today I felt nervous, but I stayed confident and spoke clearly. Writing showed me my progress and kept me motivated. And I made one simple rule for myself. Speak English every single day. Even if it was just alone, even if it was quietly, even if it was full of mistakes. No excuses. After 3 months, people started to notice. Customers would talk with me for longer. My fears started getting smaller, and my sentences became smoother. English was no longer something I studied. It had become a habit. After a few months of this, I realized something incredibly important. School English is about being correct, but real English is about being natural. So I started listening differently. I paid attention not just to what people said, but how they said it. I started writing down expressions in my notebook, not just grammar rules, but real, everyday phrases. I also focused on the small details, like prepositions, that make English sound native. At night, my shadowing practice got more intense. I started watching movies. I would pause a scene and copy the actor's emotion. Sometimes calm, sometimes excited, sometimes serious. My English started to have color and personality. Then came the hardest part, speaking with real people online. I was so scared. But one night, I forced myself to join a small online practice group. And you know what? Everyone was nervous. Everyone was learning. No one was there to judge. About a week later, something amazing happened at work. A traveler started a conversation with me, and we talked for almost 30 minutes. No freezing, no fear, no translating in my head. Just a real connection between two people. That night, I looked at myself in the mirror and said, English is part of who I am now. 6 months before, I was silent. I avoided conversations. I was losing opportunities. But now I speak. I connect with people. I grow. And you can too. So here are the key lessons that truly changed my life. First, belief comes before fluency. You have to believe you can do it. Second, surround your life with English, just like I did. Third, speak even when you are afraid. Your courage will grow with every word. Fourth, use shadowing to train your voice and your mouth. Fifth, learn new words inside of stories, not just lists. Sixth, learn grammar through using it, not just memorizing rules. And finally, number 7, consistency is so much more important than perfection. Don't wait. Not for tomorrow, not for someday. Start today. Say one sentence out loud. Shadow one line from a video. Take that first small step. My name is Daniel, and your journey starts now. Thank you for watching. If this helped you, please follow or subscribe for more.